Greek fire. Developed by the Byzantine Empire in the 7th century, Greek fire was one of the most mysterious and devastating weapons of the medieval world. Often associated with Emperor Constantine IV's forces, it was a flammable liquid that could burn even on water, making it especially lethal in naval warfare. Delivered through siphons mounted on ships, it functioned almost like an ancient flamethrower. Its exact composition remains unknown, adding to its legend. During the Arab-Byzantine Wars, it allowed vastly outnumbered Byzantine fleets to repel sieges and maintain control over Constantinople. The weapon's psychological impact was just as powerful as its physical destruction. Enemy sailors often fled at the mere sight of it igniting across the sea. Its use ensured the survival of the Byzantine Empire during critical moments when defeat seemed inevitable. The Mongol composite bow. Refined under Genghis Khan in the 13th century, the Mongol composite bow was a compact yet extraordinarily powerful weapon that reshaped warfare across Eurasia. Made from wood, horn, and sinew, it stored immense energy and could fire arrows with remarkable speed and accuracy, even from horseback. Mongol warriors trained from childhood, allowing them to shoot in any direction while riding at full speed. This mobility and precision turned their armies into unstoppable forces. During campaigns across China, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe, the bow allowed Mongols to outmaneuver heavily armored opponents and strike from distances others couldn't match. Their feigned retreats and rapid volleys broke enemy formations repeatedly. Entire empires fell as a result, proving that superior mobility combined with advanced weapon design could overcome even the strongest defensive positions. Longbow of England. The English longbow, famously used during the 14th and 15th centuries, became a defining weapon of the Hundred Years' War. King Edward III and later Henry V relied heavily on skilled archers wielding these tall, powerful bows. Capable of penetrating armor at close range and raining arrows over great distances, the longbow gave English forces a significant tactical advantage. At battles like Agincourt in 1415, heavily armored French knights were decimated by waves of arrows before they could even engage in close combat. Muddy terrain worsened their plight, turning the battlefield into a deadly trap. The longbow's effectiveness depended on years of training, which England enforced through mandatory archery practice. This weapon shifted the balance of power on the battlefield, proving that disciplined infantry could defeat traditional mounted nobility. Ottoman cannons. During the 15th century, massive cannons engineered by figures like the Hungarian designer Orban were employed by Sultan Mehmed II of the Ottoman Empire. These enormous bombards could fire stone balls weighing hundreds of kilograms, designed specifically to breach fortified walls. Their most famous use came in 1453 during the siege of Constantinople. For centuries, the city's walls had been considered nearly impregnable, but sustained cannon fire gradually weakened them. The relentless bombardment created openings that Ottoman forces exploited, leading to the city's fall. This event marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and a major turning point in world history. The success of these cannons demonstrated that traditional medieval fortifications were no longer sufficient, ushering in a new era of military architecture and siege warfare dominated by gunpowder. Da Vinci's war machines. In the late 15th and early 16th centuries, Leonardo da Vinci conceptualized a range of innovative war machines that were far ahead of their time. Though many were never built during his lifetime, his designs included armored vehicles resembling tanks, giant crossbows, and early machine gun concepts. His work combined engineering, physics, and artistic vision, aiming to give patrons like the Duke of Milan a decisive advantage. One notable design featured a multi-barreled cannon system intended to deliver rapid, repeated fire. While these inventions did not directly shape battles of the era, they represented a conceptual leap in military thinking. Da Vinci's ideas influenced later developments in mechanized warfare, showing how imagination and science could redefine combat. His work bridged medieval and modern approaches to weaponry, inspiring generations of engineers. Gunpowder muskets. By the 16th and 17th centuries, muskets had become a dominant force on the battlefield, particularly under leaders like Gustavus Adolphus of Sweden. These firearms replaced traditional bows and crossbows, offering greater penetration power and requiring less training. Musketeers operated in coordinated formations, firing volleys that could break advancing enemy lines. The widespread adoption of gunpowder weapons transformed warfare across Europe and beyond. Armies became more standardized, and tactics shifted toward discipline and timing rather than individual skill. During conflicts like the 30 Years' War, musket-equipped forces demonstrated their superiority over older methods of combat. This shift reduced the dominance of heavily armored knights and marked the rise of modern infantry. The musket's influence extended globally, shaping colonial expansion and altering the balance of power between nations. The Gatling gun. Invented by Richard Gatling in the 1860s, the Gatling gun was one of the first successful rapid-fire weapons. Operated by a hand crank, it could fire multiple rounds per second, far surpassing the rate of traditional rifles. Initially used during the American Civil War and later in colonial conflicts, it introduced a new level of battlefield lethality. Its design reduced overheating issues by rotating barrels, allowing sustained fire. Armies equipped with Gatling guns could mow down advancing troops with devastating efficiency. This weapon highlighted the growing importance of industrialization in warfare. Battles became less about close combat and more about firepower and positioning. The Gatling gun paved the way for modern machine guns, fundamentally changing military tactics and demonstrating how technological innovation could dominate the battlefield. The Enigma machine. Used by Nazi Germany during World War II, the Enigma machine was an advanced encryption device that encoded military communications. It allowed German forces to coordinate operations securely, giving them a strategic advantage early in the war. However, Allied code breakers, including Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park, eventually deciphered its complex codes. This breakthrough provided critical intelligence on German plans, from submarine movements to troop deployments. The ability to read encrypted messages allowed the Allies to anticipate and counter enemy actions effectively. Historians often credit this achievement with shortening the war by several years. The Enigma machine represents a different kind of secret weapon, where information and intelligence became as decisive as physical force, marking the beginning of modern cryptographic warfare. The atomic bomb. Developed during World War II under the Manhattan Project, the atomic bomb was the most destructive weapon ever created. Led by figures like J. Robert Oppenheimer, scientists harnessed nuclear fission to produce unprecedented explosive power. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, causing massive destruction and loss of life. These events forced Japan to surrender, effectively ending the war. The sheer scale of devastation demonstrated a new era of warfare, where a single weapon could determine the outcome of a global conflict. Beyond its immediate impact, the atomic bomb reshaped international relations, leading to the Cold War and a global arms race. It introduced the concept of mutually assured destruction, fundamentally altering how nations approached conflict. Stealth technology. Emerging in the late 20th century, stealth technology revolutionized modern warfare by making aircraft and vehicles difficult to detect by radar. Pioneered by engineers in the United States and embodied in aircraft like the F-117 Nighthawk, it allowed forces to strike targets with minimal warning. By reducing radar signatures through unique shapes and specialized materials, stealth aircraft could penetrate heavily defended airspace. During conflicts such as the Gulf War, these planes conducted precision strikes against critical infrastructure without being intercepted. This capability shifted military strategy toward precision and surprise rather than overwhelming force. Stealth technology continues to evolve, influencing drones, naval vessels, and future combat systems. Its development highlights how invisibility, rather than sheer firepower, became a decisive advantage in modern warfare.